Hey,
What's up, Rich?
how you doing? 2 years later.
Yeah.
Probably longer, actually. Probably longer.
I think so, because we didn't see each other right before the pandemic. So happy to be in your space again. How fun is this?
I know. It's a fun space. it's definitely my toy box. You know? Yeah. It's been fun. It's taken me years to get it to this point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, whenever you move into anything, it takes you a while to settle.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to figure out how to configure it to, first of all, accommodate my personal stuff.
Yeah.
And then accommodate all of the gombops stuff that I represent. So it's at a point now where I really am very happy because I've got enough space to display all the products the way I'd like them displayed to show the artists and anybody that wants to come here and see them, because this is the only location in North America, in the United States, for a gombop showroom. This is it.
Oh, wow.
Because they don't have a showroom anywhere else. They have the factory in Canada.
Yeah.
Where Sabian is. Sabian owns gombops.
Yeah.
So Sabian distributes gombops, and so this is their showroom.
Well,
basically,
it's
and
beautiful.
I've got one of everything in here that they make.
Yeah.
As a display, and then they have my own personal performing and recording stuff mixed in.
Yeah.
So now I've got got it set up where I have little stations, so that I can just go to a station and work. Whether it's congas or piano or.
It's really amazing, and we're going to show everybody a tour in a little bit. But just looking around, you guys can't see this, but there's like cajones going halfway up the wall, and there's congas and djembes and bongos all around. So we'll give you guys a little tour in a minute. But first, for those of you, people watching the channel who are like, who's Rich Mangicaro? What, can you just tell everybody like a little bit, or talk a little bit about what are you doing? What's going on?
Well, I mean, first I should say that Kalani and I met. It's over 30 years ago.
Oh,
I used to
don't say that.
I know. We met. I was the artist relations manager for Paiste America. For Paiste cymbals in the United States, and I started there in '87. Worked for them for 20 years, and he was one of our endorsees.
Yep.
That's when we first met.
Yeah.
Became friends, then started to play together. And I think the first project you and I did together, correct me if I'm wrong, was where we sang on it in the choir.
Oh yeah.
Was that your record?
On the Maroomba CD, I think.
Yeah, Maroomba.
Right. Kevin and Mike Fowl, Kevin Winard and Mike Fowl, and it was in my living room.
In yours, right.
Or in the studio, or in the living room, recording in this. Yeah, that's right. I think you're right.
Which is, you can tell me how old that album is.
Yeah, I don't even remember, but it's been a while. Yeah.
So that's how we initially met, and then I did the Paiste gig for 20 years, but prior to working for Paiste, I've always been a musician, recording and performing. And when I moved to California in 1986 from upstate New York, and was just playing around town, then I found the Paiste job was open. I actually started with Paiste as an inside telemarketing sales rep, and I did that for 1 year, and then I took over artist relations, and then did artist relations for the rest of the time, and then and I was playing around town, but nothing, national.
You were playing with the infamous band from this area, whose name is world famous, right? I mean, at least the name.
Who's that?
With Venice.
Oh, with Venice. Yeah. Well, I didn't start with Venice until years later.
Yeah.
But I've been with them 25 years now, I guess. So, it was shortly after.
If people haven't, I know Venice is not a super popular band, globally, but they're an awesome band. So if you guys haven't heard of them, look them up.
They've been around for a long time. They really have their notoriety in Europe. In Holland, they're very well known. Have charting songs in Holland, and I've toured with them in Holland and Belgium 4 times. But I don't play with them that often. They can't always afford percussion.
Yeah.
But when they do, they call me, and it's great. And they're outstanding. And that's actually how I met Scott Crago. because Scott Craig was the drummer for the Eagles. He was their original drummer, and then Scott and I were in an original project together years ago called Clear, great band. And so Scott knew my playings from that, and then when Glenn Fry and I played with Glenn Fry and Joe Walsh, and when they were looking for a percussionist, Scott recommended me to Glenn Fry, and there was no audition, just went in and played.
That's nice, yeah.
So that's how that all went, and then ended up with Glenn for 15 years until he died.
Yeah. I would love to give people a chance to hear some of the goodies you have in here because, you know, I mean, looking at all this stuff, people are probably like, I want to hear that.
Yeah.
I want to know what that is. So let's take a few minutes and do a little tour.
Okay.
All right. All right. Hey, we're in the studio with Rich. So, yeah, let's take a look at this fun laboratory candy store. Yeah.
Well, I've got it situated, certain parts of the room are situated as a display area for gombops instruments. So up here you can see all of the djembes collection from them. And then on this shelf is all the various bongos that they make. And then this lower level is all the congas. Each one is kind of a representation of the series that they make. This particular series is called Mariano, and as the ones I record with, they're more of a traditional wood Cuban style conga, so I love recording with these. They all record great, but I personally like the natural heads for recording. This is our newest line, which is the Lenny Castro series. Very quintessential Lenny design that is currently out with Lenny with the John Mayer tour. And then this is our only fiberglass shell that we make, which is our Roberto Quintero fiberglass shells. Beautiful fiberglass.
Classic, yeah. I love the classic retro sparkle.
And then this is I'll just tell you the different series real quick. Tumbal Pro, that's a Asian oak shell. And then these two series are Alex Acuna's series. There's a natural and an ebony finish. That's made from a North American ash wood. And then the California series, which are made now in Canada at our factory in Canada. That's made from red Appalachian oak. Solid oak shell, beautiful.
Nice.
Gorgeous, handmade shells. So each of these series, they either come with synthetic or natural hide heads. So
cool.
And then this area here is the various timbales that we make, shakeres, and then just my snare drum collection up there, which I label so I know
what is this thing?
Okay, this is called a bucket shakere, which is modeled after an instrument in Brazil called the shakebalde. Shakebalde. So it's there's a percussionist in Los Angeles named Will Phillips, great percussionist, and he helped us come up with this idea and develop it because he saw them in Brazil. We were the first manufacturer to make these, though, in mass production. And it's basically a bucket with rivets, and you play it like this. You know,
nice.
I can't play it like he does.
So kind of like you would play shakere, but it's a different instrument.
Like that, yeah. And then you can mount it. So it's so cool. You can mount it on a snare drum and play it with a brush or play the top of it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Really cool, useful instrument.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so, then, all different shakeres, different sizes, timbales.
Yeah.
All right. What else? And then
the cajones. Gombops makes a lot of cajones, so I've displayed them all the way around the room. So we have.
Yeah.
And then these are different shakers. Actually, some of this stuff is gombops, some is not. There's their shakers, their guiro, cajones, and then the rest of the cajones are here.
See, you guys, I wasn't lying. It's halfway up to the ceiling.
Yeah. different sounds, all different kinds of sounds. There's fiesta. There's flamenco style or Peruvian style cajones here.
Yeah.
My keyboard station where I do a lot of my writing, and then my computer area where I do the production and mixing and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
And some of my old favorite photographs over the years.
I know those people.
Yeah. That was taken by Rob Shanahan. That's Jeff Picaro and I in 1989, I think it was. That was taken by Neil Slozauer. Jack White took that shot. That was the last photograph taken of Jeff Picaro with his father and Emil Richards and Jim Keltner before Jeff passed away. So,
very cool. And then
And some of this stuff is just from my touring. This is Jeff Bridges' record that I played on, the actor. And then this is some of the Glenn Frey, years ago with Glenn Frey. Some live shots from Glenn. And,
nice.
Yeah. And then this is a festival I did with Glenn.
Cool. And then
here is just various tambourines that
what are these things?
Yeah.
These look familiar, but I can't quite.
Yeah. This is a very fun thing for me because I had to look long and hard to find a CD cabinet to display all my CDs because I don't have as many as I used to.
There you go, people.
Yeah.
That's the CD collection.
That's just the small one compared to what I used to have.
Yeah, so you are a percussionist, musician, but you also compose, you're producing, I feel like we're like brothers that way. So because you're producing videos,
right?
You're writing, you've got different partners, different projects. We're going to get to that. We're going to listen to some samples a little bit later. What do you do in this laboratory of yours besides,
Well, a couple of things. One is I whenever a Gombops artist needs to come and try something, or a potential artist, or even a client through a retailer wants to hear something, I will meet them here and show them all the product. So that's the Gombop side of things.
Yeah.
This is the home for all the Gombops artists in Los Angeles, so they can come here and try something out. We can meet here. But the other side of this room is my where I practice and where I work on original music. So.
Yeah, and you're on which CD now?
I just finished my second solo album, which is my first is instrumental record that I wrote and played all the keyboards, drums, and percussion. Same thing with the second album. Did all the keyboards, drums, and percussion, and that's another instrumental record. Just finished the mastering on that, so now we're in the artwork stage.
Here's a sample from Rich's CD. Check it out.
This is a track from my next record, my next album called Dialogues, which is the opening track called Into the Ether. And this song features me on percussion and keyboards. My partner, Jonathan Clark, plays bass and guitar on it, although that's not in this session. This was the session that I did prior to giving it to him. And it opens with a conga solo with these congas with just one mic over the top, an Audio Technica 4050. A little bit of reverb. Out of the improv solo, it goes into what I was talking about earlier, which is blending acoustic, organic sounds with electronic, synthetic sounds. And the song comes in like that here. That's a loop. And then I bring the cajon in here. That's from the new record. The new record is a combination of different styles. But there's another album that I'm working on which is going to be more instrumental. This one's gives you an example of that one. Right here. So this one I did keyboard parts, some that sounded like flute. I played a drum kit and panderos and djembes on this one.
Nice. Very fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this is my little hybrid drum kit that I use for recording.
This is very fun.
And this area here is various tambourines and panderos and shakers that Gombops makes and all of their bell collection. So I've displayed all these so they can easily
Nice.
get to them. But this particular kit, I've had really a lot of fun putting this together for recording because it's got a lot of sound variety.
Yeah.
So,
Take us around real quick. Let's see.
so this is a very old Japanese drum that I found on eBay that is just a nice deep wood shell sound. I use this on some stuff. Then I've got a bunch of other snare drums over there that I like to use. This is a Gombop's, it's called a timbale snare, which is a nice little hip hop kind of thing. And it's got a really fun throw off. So, and then I use DW drums, except for this particular bass drum I found at a NAMM show by a company called Farmer Foot Drums.
Yeah.
And it's just a great little compact, great for small space bass drum. Killer bass drum with a very soft pedal.
Very cool.
Peisty cymbals. I've been with them for a very long time. And then I use a Roland Hand Sonic, and I love that for a lot of cool looping things.
Electronic stuff.
Yeah. And then this is the Penderos that Gombops makes, and I mount them an 8 and a 10 inch, but they sound really great with blastics and with sticks. It's like an alternative tom.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they blend right in with the toms.
Yeah.
You'd never know that how. Yeah. You never know how tiny they are.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I'm gonna steal that idea.
My microphones are very basic. I don't use anything fancy. All SM57s here. And then this is a AKG P170s, little pins for the overheads and for the hi-hats. And a Shure Beta 52 on the kick drum. Very simple.
Where's the big? Yep, that's the classic kick mic.
Classic kick. And then for percussion, I really love this Audio Technica 4050. That's a really great
I think I have that
mic.
at home. Yeah.
Yeah, for percussion.
Yeah. So what do we got here? Let's go through this sonic array.
So this is my percussion toy collection station that I put over tracks if I'm adding any of this kind of sound colors, right? So I love shell sounds. So these are just different shells. This particular one is made by Gombops called Waterfall Shell Chimes. I'll give you that water sound.
Nice.
They're just shells.
Yeah.
And then these are different shells. This is from Africa that I got at Motherland Music. I got these from Motherland.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then this is these are made in Brazil. These are called recycled. It's called a recycled triple threat, I think they call it, from a company in Brazil called Marco China, and he makes great stuff. So this is his little bottle cap shell. It's really cool. Then I have an African djembe, traditional African djembe that I also got at Motherland Music in Los Angeles. Great store, Motherland Music in Los Angeles.
Yep.
That guy imports right from Africa.
Yeah.
You know him very well.
Yeah.
So this is my djembe. And then just different toys, wood blocks and different wood block sounds. So, and shakers and Butch Norton gave me these. This is so cool.
This is looks like a very Butch
Actually,
thing.
no. Was it Butch that gave me these? I'm trying to think.
It wouldn't surprise me. So what is it?
They're toothpicks.
Awesome.
I'm trying to remember who gave this to me. It wasn't Butch. It was. Sorry, I can't remember who gave these to me, but they're really cool.
They sound great.
Aren't they great? They're so cool. Just another. And then this is
And keep your teeth clean.
This is what Butch gave me that I use. I use these all the time on tracks.
Yeah.
They're just plastic water bottles with plastic beads in them, like a really big caxixi sign. And through it, when you record this and put it through an effect, like a delay or whatever, it's unbelievable.
Gotta love the found sounds.
Yeah.
And recycling.
And then these is actually I did get these from Butch. These are from Chinatown. These are like $2.
He gave me one of those. Yeah.
$2.
He gave me a
bells,
glass bottle with some of those on.
which sound unbelievable in a track.
They're great.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I love this kind of stuff. Then I have a Doombeck from Remo here, and a Remo frame drum. I use these a lot. And these are some really cool things that Paiste, I don't even know if they make them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
The Roto Sound Disc, which is the hippest, coolest thing. And then their finger cymbal row I use all the time.
Yeah.
And just different triangles.
Oh.
This is my, the real good one. This is
Able.
the Allen Able, yeah.
Yep, I have the same one, man. That's
These
money.
These are all Gombops triangles. So I got 4 different triangle sounds, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
more sounds, the better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you do a zillion different things. You have probably one of the most diverse skill sets of anybody I know, in this part of the industry, in this space. So talk a little bit about how you came about to, have the skills you have and doing what you do, because it's so many things.
It kind of I kind of built upon one thing after another, because I started out obviously just being a musician as I was a young guy, and then I went to music school, went to college, got my degree in music, so I have a bachelor's in music performance. I got that, and I always kind of thought I was just going to be a professional player, like a lot of us want to be, and I was actually in music education for a little while in college, and I didn't see myself as a teacher. So I got out of that and transferred into music industry and performance. So my degree is in that. And then when I got to California and I moved out here and I was playing, and I thought I'd like to have some other kind of a gig to bring in some money while I'm playing to supplement. So, and I thought I still want to be in music, and that's when I looked, and I just found the Paiste gig in the newspaper, and ended up getting the job in sales first, and then the artist relations manager quit, and then they gave it to me, and then it just kind of built from there. So from there, ended up learning that craft and learning what that meant, what artist relations is, which it's a tricky thing to learn to do, because you first of all, it helps to be a musician to have experience playing and performing, which I've been professional since I was 16, but playing. But
you need to relate to the artist. I mean, it's artist relations, so
yeah. You basically, I think the better artist relations managers that I've worked with and met are the ones that have that experience. So I felt that was important, and then it afforded me to meet a lot of people like yourself and a lot of great musicians, and then that led to meeting players that knew I was a player, and then said, "Hey, come play with us." And that eventually led to the Venice gig, and it eventually led to the Eagles gig, the Glenn Fry thing, which I was just so fortunate. The timing was perfect, and when you get an offer like that, as you well know, your homework, you better have done your homework before you get to that point, because it is all about connection. But once you get it, you got to know what you're doing. You have to be able to keep that gig, right?
Yeah, right.
So I knew what I was doing, and I knew their music, and it's not a percussion heavy gig to play the Eagles music, but it's definitely a sound coloring gig. You really have to know how to accent and color the music and not get in the way, and know when to play and know when not to play.
Right.
Like our favorite percussionists are so great at, like Lenny Castro or Luis Conte or.
Exactly.
You're very well. You're one of them. You know what you're doing.
I try to. Yeah.
You know what to play, when to play, what color to put. I look at it like, this is all frequency ranges that we do and textures. So when I'm doing all that stuff, I'm listening to the guitar player going, okay, he's in that certain frequency range. I'm not going to put something in that range now, because he's taking up that frequency range. Yeah. Because, shakere or whatever could be in that same range.
Right.
That kind of thing you think about. So that's all the stuff that you kind of know before you get that kind of a gig, And then also the Paiste job led me to meet all of the drum industry trades, all the magazines.
Right.
And I'm a writer, and they ended up hooking up with me, and I ended up writing for all the drum trades too. So that was another aspect. I don't do that anymore, but I was doing a lot of interviewing and feature writing and cover stories for Drumhead magazine mostly, but I did some for Modern Drummer, some for Rhythm UK. I had some placement in Australia and France and also Italy. So it's just, that was part of the connection through the industry as well. Them getting to know me, and then knowing that I write, and plus knowing all these artists that I was a shoe-in to interview these people.
Yeah.
So it was all interview via audio. It was a long time ago, so there was no cameras. It was all tape machines and
Yeah, and then articles.
Yeah,
Print, right?
Print, right.
Yeah. And then since from then you've also developed into the video producing. So tell everybody again, what is it? It's RAM
57 Productions.
57 Productions. You've got some stuff online.
It's my own entity. It's not incorporated. It's just my own label for my video projects that I do personally. And I did one personal project under that ended up being a web series, which is on YouTube called The Art of Improv. And that stemmed from, interestingly, after I left Paiste, there was about 5 years before I started working for Gombops. And in that 5-year span, I was just playing and touring with Glenn. And also, I got an offer to work for an online record company. I did that for 1 year called Nova Tunes. And it was all digital download label. And in that company, I was their content director. So I ended up producing video content for them. I wasn't the one shooting and editing at that time.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that yet. But I was the one creating the content. And it gave me an idea of just kind of improv percussion and how we, like what you and I have done for yoga classes. One of the things that Kalani and I have done is we've performed live percussion improv for yoga classes. We've done that for years together with a few other players, and that's been great. And it also gave me this inspiration. You're in actually one of the episodes, kind of how you think about improv. And then that ended up being a 6-episode web series that I did that featured one episode with Terry Bozzio, one was with a dance troupe, one's with a photographer. One episode is with two well-known actors from the show 24. And then you and a few other players.
Yeah.
So, and then the rest of the video production that I've done has been more for the corporate world, like, a lot for Gombops, a lot for Innovative Percussion when I was working for them.
Right.
And for myself.
Yeah. I want to go just before we move on to touch on that idea of playing for yoga, because that was super fun. It was great to connect, have kind of a weekly thing to look forward to, but also for anybody out there that's watching thinking, how can I get more experience as an improviser, musician, ensemble member? Check all those boxes. Go play for yoga classes or play for an exercise class.
Or dance class.
Dance classes, yeah, which you and I have also done, right? That's a great thing to do. And again, it's kind of like, you don't just go crazy. You have to respond to what you're seeing, you have to be sensitive to the energy levels and the flow and the sequencing, and you're in service to people. So yeah, it'll get you in shape for just about any kind of gig or recording session too, because a lot of the same considerations, when you're doing a recording or you're playing for somebody else's project, to, like what you said, get in that frequency range, play something appropriate, don't overplay. A lot of time it's not what you play, it's what you don't play that makes it, right?
Yeah, especially reacting, like you said, off of what you're seeing, what you're hearing and feeling from the people in the class, or actually also what you're hearing in the room and the room acoustics, whatever room you're playing in. Yeah. How is your instrument reverberating and reacting to the space? Because that could change your dynamic level. It could change what you pick up to play. Right. You're listening to the other players going, okay, he's in that, again, frequency range. He's in that range. He's doing that. We don't need that twice. So I'm going to go low. I'm going to play a lower part. Right. But it's all in the moment. It is great practice for anything else we do. Yeah. Totally agree. I miss it. I want to do it again.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we can rev that up again.
Yeah. So this was a video that I did for Gombops, which shows the manufacturing process of their congas. So they filmed this with raw video in Canada, sent me the footage, and then I put this together. So it kind of, and then the music was original music from Luisito Quintero, which is Chick Corea's percussionist. But I edited all this together. Basically shows how congas are made.
Oh, nice.
All the different stages.
Yeah, yeah.
They're shaving the conga staves here.
Wow.
It's a pretty cool video. So it shows all the different stages.
Those are single stave congas, huh?
Single stave.
Wow.
Single stave shaped congas.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yep. And this is how they bend them.
With the steam, yeah, nice.
Yep. So this video is something I edited together. It shows how all the drums are made.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man.
This was
It was
really
great.
fun.
Really
Yeah.
fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, and I'm sure everybody appreciates you. And so, how can people like connect with you more and check out what you're doing, or send you a message, or anything like that?
I have my Facebook and Instagram, of course, under my name, and then I also my website. There's a contact page on my website. Probably that's the best way to reach out to me if you want to directly get me. It's just richmangicaro.com. So that's RichMangicaro.com, and there's a contact page there. But also on my Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok.
Oh, on TikTok too.
Yeah, I'm heavily into TikTok now.
Oh.
And I'm actually very surprised how, first of all, how important it is in social media. It's become the second to Instagram, basically, as far as importance. But most of the musicians I know, like including people like Jackson Browne, Paul McCartney, Snarky Puppy, they all have, Coldplay, they all have TikTok channels. TikTok is short burst content.
Yeah.
And Instagram got hip to this because now they have Instagram Reels, which is their direct competition with TikTok.
Yeah.
So Instagram Reels is a short burst content as well, all shot portrait mode stuff.
Yeah. So now we know what we need to do. I guess
Yeah.
I guess what you're saying is like I'm behind the times now.
No, because all this kind of content shot in landscape is great for Facebook and YouTube.
Okay. I feel
So,
better.
Yeah. That's where it's most beneficial. And long format is definitely YouTube. YouTube likes long format.
Yeah. Because and I like that better because then we can hang. It's like a hang.
Yeah.
And we're getting into things a little bit more. I mean, the TikTok stuff's fine if you're just you got a couple minutes to kill, but we try to give people
Yeah.
more. But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And
Always.
yeah, you guys. So connect with Rich. Of course, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Come see us at patreon.com/Kalani to connect with me more and go out and make some great music like we're doing.
Yeah. Have fun and check his stuff out.
See you guys.
Bye.